Good afternoon, good evening, welcome, depending on where you're joining us from. I have today, my name is Maggie Abdallah with Bennett Mercado Hospitality. I'm the Director of Sales. And today we have with us two wonderful colleagues from ELUX France and ELUX Spain. I'd like to welcome you, Frédéric, calling in from Paris. He is with the co-founder of ELUX France, and with us as well from Spain is Veronica from ELUX Spain. Welcome, both of you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Hello from
Maggie.
Paris.
Great. So, Frederick, we're going to begin with ELUX France. Can you tell us about ELUX France and also all the services it can provide in the country of France?
I created France 4 years ago. We are a virtuoso DMC and provide all the services that the travel advisor needs for his clients in France, from meet and greet to
Mhm.
driver guides. And we also have a lot of very, very special experiences throughout the country that we are going to come back to because we are proud of them to make a trip totally unique throughout France. It can be Paris, but also any province, Brittany, Alsace, and of course Provence, Riviera, Corsica, everything you need.
So, do you primarily work with travel advisors or is it exclusively travel advisors?
Exclusively travel advisors. ELUX France has a B2B only model. We love that. We work with professionals. It works very well like that, and that's the way we want to work.
Excellent. Okay. So, when a travel advisor has an inquiry, how do they begin the process of working with ELUX France?
They send us so here is the team. It's larger
Hmm.
now, but we have a team of both travel designers and operations. So we have four travel designers. They all come from either other DMCs or hotels. They are experienced travel designers, not juniors.
Okay.
And we have an operation team of another four people who handle everything from bookings to invoicing, and then they have a contact on the ground throughout the trip of the clients. So
Excellent.
you send us the request via mail, and we respond with a structured proposal with pictures, prices. You interchange with travel designers to get the exactly what is needed for this particular client, and then we handle it to operation. They work by duos, so they all work well as teams, and so that there's continuity. And there starts the operation process to you know bookings, adding services when needed, and then the road book and all the coordinations before the arrival and during the trip.
Do you require advisors allow you to book the hotel, or can you do they can book the hotels themselves if they have a relationship with the certain hotels, and you do transfers and
Yeah,
the
we do.
experiences?
We actually work to serve the travel advisors. So we book the hotels. We have DMC deals. So when we book a hotel, we guarantee that there will be virtuoso amenities. If it's a virtuoso property,
Hmm.
we guarantee as well that the travel advisor will have the same commission as if it was booked direct. And we
Okay.
always say to hotels who we are working with. And so that's in the case we do everything. Of course,
Hmm.
it's easier to do it this way because then transfers and for all the coordination, we like to have the whole trip. But
Right.
of course, if travel advisors have a special relationship with hotels and they book it, then we can handle all the ground services around it.
Excellent. So when you do a final proposal or a final trip and you're itemizing, how do you itemize the pricing? Do you do it by day? Do you do it by line item?
When we send the original request, it's going to be a global price.
Hmm.
And if travel advisors need a breakdown, travel advisors sometimes ask us, can you quote the hotels? Can you quote
Hmm.
Ground services, visits, just to have an idea of how it's split. That we provide, of course, and if
Okay.
it's a detailed breakdown, then we can provide as well.
Okay. So, and you obviously price everything in euros. Do you do it as a net where they can add their commission?
Yeah, we do it net,
Mhm.
and then we add the commission if the travel advisors need us to get the credit card,
Mhm.
do payment and then commission. We do that very, very often. They just give us the commission and then we send the gross amount in the invoice. Otherwise, travel advisors will work with us on a regular basis. We know what the commission they want, and we can add it upfront if needed.
Excellent. These are all questions I get, so I like to just make sure advisors kind of know how the process works for ELUX France. Very,
Hmm.
very good.
And when they can require things from us and work. So I understand that you want to start this way.
Yes, definitely. So you have grown your team, which is exciting. Um, in addition to moving into Spain as well with Veronica and her team there on the ground. Veronica, where are you based? Madrid?
Based in Madrid
Correct.
right now. Let's put it that way. So let's make it interesting. And yes, we are incorporating more and more people to the team. We just had Daniela joining us from a very important, another virtuoso DMC. So she chose us. So we're super happy to have her. She is from Portugal. And she brings a lot of expertise from working with many years with another virtuoso DMC in town. Also Trilce, who's a travel designer incoming as well. And then, of course, Alvaro, who is our product manager for Spain. As Frederic was saying, we have the same model as in
Hmm.
France when it comes to receiving the quotes. We have the travel designers designing the trip. It will be operations who will be managing it. So right now, both Trilce and Daniela are both operations. So it's good because at the beginning, they're also gaining the experience on all sides of the job.
Hmm.
Uh, the idea is growing more team. Basically, when it comes to myself, just a
Hmm.
very few words. I know you, Maggie, for how many years? What,
Many.
25
Yes,
years?
definitely. Yeah. Yes.
When we used to work together with Ritz Carlton and Cheryl
Hmm.
and Beatrice. So I'm super happy that we're still, or again, working together.
Yes.
So better to say. And yeah, so excited for to start this project here in Spain. I have been myself traveling a lot around the world, and then finally I decided I want to live in my own country. And now
Hmm.
the dream is selling my own country. So
Right.
that is actually quite exciting.
Well, and I would say one of the takeaways I hear a good about is the actual experience of all in country. So it's not, and I hear that there's not a cookie cutter trip. So it's really you tailor it by client per inquiry. It's you're thoughtful about every trip and the experience and suggestions that are made for clients. So it's definitely sets you apart from a lot of DMCs.
Yes, yes, Maggie, you nailed it. I mean, it's actually the word is right here on the slide.
Mhm,
Creativity is one of our, main differentiators when it comes to other DMCs, and we can see this every day because
mhm,
travel agents sometimes they come to us because they need our expertise, and
mhm,
we can see how they're mainly requesting the same kind of destinations within the country, and we're
mhm,
here to say, well, you know what? You haven't thought of getting your clients maybe, I don't know, Costa Brava or
mhm,
maybe
mhm,
to Toledo or maybe some
mhm,
places where they didn't even think of, like, or visit the fishermen villages in Costa Brava. Everybody goes to Costa Brava, they want to see Dali, but
mhm,
why don't you go to the beach one day? Why don't you go and have a paella cooking class with a chef in Costa Brava? So
mhm.
this is us giving the ideas to the travel advisors, of course.
Right,
Creativity is one of our differentiators for sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
Same
I
to be
just
said
wanted to
in,
add,
yeah.
that you saw that we are on the teams. You saw that we are all locals. We are experts of our own country, and even if we expand internationally from France, we really want this Spanish team to be based in Madrid
Hmm.
with Spaniards who have been experiencing themselves all the regions and who are constantly in the search for new things to be doing and sharing their passion for their own country.
I love that. I love that. Frederick, do you want to go through some of the, services as well as, key points that you want to differentiate?
Yes, we mentioned it. The quality is number one because,
Hmm.
of course, when you are DMC, the main expectation from the travel advisor is to have a seamless trip. You can be as creative as you want. You want the
Hmm.
driver to be uh, ahead of time, to be there, to be meeting at the exact point. So logistics. I mean, a trip is a lot of possible pain points. From the
Hmm.
arrival at an airport. And so our first mission is to make all these completely seamless
Hmm.
and reliable so that the travel advisors who are hours away from us, can be very, very confident that their client will be pampered when they are in France or in Spain. So
Excellent.
that's our first mission, and we have, four people constantly working on that every day. As well, we've discussed about the creativity. That is what we motivate us, that the passion and what makes a trip different. But we've got also a lot of care. We send a little message every day to the client. It's just a reminder of what he's doing. There's nothing more than in his road book, apart from completing. We know when a driver's contact couldn't be given in advance. I mean, I'm mentioning drivers because the plannings are done the day before. At the end of the day, around 5-ish, we send a reminder, we hope you had a lovely day, and this is what you're doing tomorrow, and this is the name of your guide. You meet him exactly at this point. This is your driver, Jean-Michel or Marco, and that's what is. So we take a lot of care. Care is something
Hmm.
we that's what we do this business. I always and Veronica is the same. We hire people who love it and have genuine care for clients, for travel advisors as well in the exchanges, and even to our partners. I mean, we have partners, long-term partners, and whenever we ask them the extra mile for a specific client, they do it for us.
Excellent. Excellent. So I see a big key point is there's no minimum spend.
Oh, for one very specific reason. It's very often when people want to try you, they're not
Hmm.
going to start with their biggest client, except if really to this trip and no. But we know that getting first of all, is done, step by step, and that's why we welcome your smaller request so that you get to know how we work, you get to go
Hmm.
through the full process, and you start understanding how we work and the advantage of being working with us.
Excellent. Excellent. Veronica, is there any other key points that you want to kind of touch on?
You know, we briefly mentioned this already, Maggie, but I think the fact that we can action multi-country or multi-destination
Hmm.
itineraries is one of our key strengths as well. Sometimes it's a nightmare for our travel advisors to think that for just one client, they have to be contacting different
Correct.
DMCs. So with us, it's just a one-stop shop. We will coordinate everything internally. We will have Fred will assign a travel designer in France. I will assign a travel designer here in Spain. They will all talk together. They will coordinate and send just one final itinerary. So that is, it's very easy for the travel advisors.
Right. Well, and I would say, in my experience so far is even when sometimes the clients, guest or have specifics, they had a friend at the farmer's market that suggested they stay or do a wine tour somewhere. you have been a great resource for travel advisors to kind of caution, well, there's not really a five-star accommodation in this town. So maybe we do the wine tour and then move on to a closer city that might have accommodations that the clients have expectations. So these are all the little nuances that go into a multi-city tour within a country, but also multiple countries. So I think that is, being honest, you're on the ground, based on getting the information from the travel advisor, setting some expectations to make sure that it meets everybody's expectations and exceeds everybody's expectations.
Yeah, and to be
Right.
insisting on what Veronica is saying is that we have two local teams, but we work a lot together. We people have been trained here in Versailles. We send people to Madrid. There are a lot of exchanges,
Hmm.
so that we are one team, and handle clients in a seamless way when they do a combo,
Hmm.
because that's where we can add value as well. When they jump in a plane to Madrid or Barcelona, then making sure it's the same team that is expecting them on the other side and is
Right.
continuing the trip.
Excellent. So what are some really exclusive or interesting experiences you guys have that you want to talk about?
Mm.
Veronica, do you
I
want
don't
to
know,
shoot first?
maybe. No, no, I was going to ask you if you want to give the concept or explain the concept of experiences, because this was born in France, actually. And then I'll go ahead and explain some of the ones that we do in Spain and that we offer in Spain, which are wonderful.
We've actually registered a specific name, the Lux experiences. It's registered here in
Hmm.
France, and other people cannot use it. And it's actually these very specific experiences that we build, so that your trip is unique, whether it's making something, whether it's visiting something, but in a very special way, in a private way, of course. And something that really, you go to, if we take the example in France, you go to the Eiffel Tower or to Versailles, but you're going to do it in a very different way. And
Hmm.
but as well, we go to another place. Everything that will when you go back, you don't have the same trip as other people have.
Very special.
Exactly. Yes, and as I was mentioning, Maggie, so these are some of the experiences that we can offer in in Spain. We have many more. These are just
Hmm.
some of them. We'd love to highlight, for example, and you can see this is across the whole of Spain region.
Hmm.
We like to highlight, for example, the mosque in Cordoba, like closing it after hours, like having a cooking class with a master chef. I mean, this is something that is really,
Very
truly,
unique.
truly
Hmm.
unique. Just open to a few ones, like for example, as well, the decent Bornemisa. And Frederick, he did his this experience back in
Wow.
September, I think, like
Absolutely
accessing.
stunning. It's visiting the museum before opening hours, and actually the whole visit is about the techniques in painting from the 15th century into the modern age, and it's absolutely fascinating. And you end up into the restoration, so
Wow.
it's behind blinded doors,
Yes, I was gonna say behind
and you
closed doors.
see exactly.
This is one of our favorites that actually our clients, the ones that tried it, they absolutely love it. This is a couple, Alfonso and Rocio. They are in Jerez, in Cadiz, which is
Hmm.
traditionally another area that maybe people visiting Andalusia wouldn't consider, and we
Hmm.
totally suggest that they do, because we have this contact, this couple. They have this magnificent estate. They have horses. The clients can even like um, go on the horses
Mhm.
or go with the carriage. I mean, they visit the finca, they have lunch with a couple, they explain why are they doing this, why they want to show the world the beauty of this area as well, you know. So it's very special. It's actually
Mhm.
a little bit like going and visiting or living how locals live, which I
Mhm.
think is the key, at least what we want to transmit to people visiting
It's
both France and Spain. This would be, for
locals,
example,
locals in a very aristocratic way, if you just state.
well, yeah, but you know, for example, in Costa Brava, and I don't have it here, but I did this experience months ago when I went to Barcelona, and we have this chef, and she has a masía in Empordà, which is at the area close to Costa Brava, and she has another apartment in Barcelona. So you go to the market with her and her husband. They will tell you their stories. You buy the products, you go home, you cook with them, you have a talk. I mean, this is something that this is the highlight of many trips when
Mhm.
when clients try this kind of experiences. This one, for example, in another one in Cadiz is getting to know more about it's an ancient fishing technique for tuna. So we also have the contacts to do that. Of course, I never mentioned this, but I'm from the Basque Country. So anything that has to do with the north, also we have a house in Galicia. So I'm very much into, exploring more in the north. We have an experience with Balenciaga, with the descendants of Ismu. So it's very, very special. And then, of course, France, Fred, you may want to explain some of the ones you have as well.
We tend to design a lot in the wine estates, whether it's in the Champagne or
Mhm.
Bordeaux or Burgundy region, and have specific lunch, in prestigious or more private champagne families. And so we have a wide range of these very special experiences when you are alone with the owners, or into a very special venue at Arena or Veuve
Mhm.
Clicquot. We do a lot of before hours, after hours, museum, chateaus, even private places. We even we've organized dinners in Versailles, in Napoleon's home just outside Paris. We have a toolbox of many contacts that open the doors for us. Skydiving over Mont Saint-Michel, that's a fun way to do it, because the bay is absolutely
To say the
incredible,
least.
to say the least. But it can be also, horseback riding when it's low tide,
Mhm.
or just walking. The hike to get to Mont Saint-Michel is absolutely incredible for those who are more afraid of skydiving. But you walk with your guide, and then the Mont Saint-Michel is getting bigger and bigger, and it's
Mhm.
it's actually something that is very, very special. Tour de France, we again, sports is a big thing. In Monaco, we have tennis fans, play with former top players. Here we did a few times very special experiences at Tour de France, with actually clients being in the car, like we see,
Oh, wow.
in the middle of the race, and then jumping on a helicopter, be flying over the race,
Mhm.
and then landing to be the first one on the finish line, and see the
The
finish,
finish.
and then be a VIP at the award ceremony. I mean, that's a very sort of full day. It's absolutely magic. The first one we
Mhm.
did it with is a big, big fan, and I think he had the day of his life.
I bet. I bet.
And then I was mentioning the royal dinner in Versailles,
Mhm.
and as I was saying, we did it in other venues as well. But in Versailles, it was about recreating the dinner as it was served during the times of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. The the plates, the cutlery have been copied from, with the same makers, because these companies still exist,
Hmm.
looking into the archives. And so really recreated the full dinner in a rural way. So
Wow.
this goes, into in the evening, the palace is lit just for you, and you have these rooms that are just for your use, and many
So,
more. So we see the mountains. It's of course we do the Alps as well,
mhm.
and have a lot of experiences on it. We have a B2B website, so that's why we mentioned it, because you have a lot of experiences that are described there. It's not exhaustive because we constantly add some. We've got experiences scouters, but we tend to put it. We add some regularly, and we always have a catalog, the hidden catalog that you have access to when you contact us.
Excellent. These are all great ideas. So, where would you
Yeah,
say that?
that's something I wanted to mention. I mean,
Yes.
we decided we would be really active during the Olympics.
Hmm.
We some DMCs or travel professionals didn't want, to be involved in what could be a mess, and eventually people had absolutely fabulous moments, and so we were very proud. The whole team was involved. No one went
Hmm.
on vacation at that time. We lived it ourselves, and we served our clients. It went extremely smoothly, and we were happy to be an active part of this incredible event.
Excellent. Well, I know that we covered a lot of information today, but if you have any questions, reach out to myself or anyone on the Bennett Mercado team, and we'll connect you with Frederick or Veronica based on the requests that you have and inquiry, and that you have a lot of great resources on your website, like you mentioned. Well, thank you both for joining us today and sharing what all you can provide in both of these fantastic countries.
Thanks a lot, Maggie. Thanks a
Thank
lot. It
you.
was a pleasure.
Thank you, Maggie, for the opportunity. Thank you so much.